Good morning, students. Welcome to the science class. In the last lecture, we have studied the different parts of the flower. We have studied that a flower generally consists of four parts: calyx, corolla, androecium, and gynoecium. So, in today's lecture, we are going to start with the activity. The parts which we have studied, that we need to see in reality that how these parts they are existing in reality, how they look like in reality. So here is one activity. The aim of the activity, it means our motive of this activity is to study the reproductive part of a hibiscus flower, right? So hibiscus flower is also called as China rose. It is easily available nearby. We have to study the reproductive part, that is the male part, stamen, and the female part, pistil. So for this we require some materials, that is we require firstly a hibiscus flower, then we require some forceps, needles with handle, and a hairbrush and a slide. Now we will be thinking, what are these all parts? These are actually easily available in our biology lab, right? What we will do is we will dissect the flower. Now what you will be thinking that what is this dissection of the flower? So dissection of the flower, it means carefully removing all the parts of the flower and then studying it, right? So firstly we have to observe the flower very closely. So let us just observe it very closely. We can see petals are there, then the sepals are there, right? And the what I can say, the yellowish part, you can see small yellow balls are there attached with a pink line. So all this you can see it carefully. After observing this flower carefully, what you have to do is you have to carefully remove 2 or 3 sepals. So this dissection is done with a lot of patience, students. If you are not having patience, then you will just cut the flower and it will be gone, right? So firstly, very carefully, patiently remove 3 sepals, and then you have to nextly remove any 2 adjacent petals. Now we have reached, after removing the petals, we have reached the interior part of the flower. So we can see stamen are located just interior to the petals. Hibiscus, a large number of stamens are there in hibiscus actually. You can see the linings, pinkish lining with the yellow dots, right? You will be able to see. So a lot of stamens are there. So all together they are forming a tube-like structure that is called staminal tube. So we'll just on a slide a glass rectangular shape. Sometimes round shape is also there. Slide is there. So we'll place stamen on it with the help of a brush, and then under the magnifying glass we'll observe it. Nextly, we'll study pistil also. Pistil, the long tube, we'll split it to see style and the ovary and the ovules, right? So while seeing the stamen, let us see what observation we make. So while seeing the stamen, we can see 2 parts. A small kidney-shaped terminal part is attached to a thread-like structure. When we split open this kidney-shaped part, then we see a large number of yellow-colored tiny particles are there, right? If we see this pistil part, then we can see that the base is swollen part. So if that's swollen base, if we take out, then it divides into 5 small bulbs at the top. They are actually small egg-like structures. You can see they will be ovules, right? So from this we make certain conclusion. What are the conclusion? The students, after doing this activity, what we conclude? We conclude that the male reproductive part of the flower is called as stamen. It is further divided into 2 parts. The terminal is kidney shaped, that is called as anther, which is attached to a thread like structure, which is called as filament. While the female reproductive part of the flower is pistil. It is further divided into three parts. The base is, the lowermost base is swollen, that is called as ovary. Ovary contains the bead-like structures that are ovules. Above this swollen part, we are having a long slender tube-like structure, that is the style. And at the top, we are having small bulbs, that is called as stigma. So let us see this activity in a video form. Here we will study the video, we will see the video actually for the hibiscus flower dissection. So this is a hibiscus flower which all of you have seen. Let's see how it is dissected through this video. We will carefully observe the flower. You can see petals, the yellow dots, sepals. Firstly we are removing the sepals from the base. Very carefully it is to be removed. Two to three petals, adjacent petals are firstly removed here. You can remove all also, but it is to be done very carefully. Here you can see how this sepals, they are removed. Now petals will be removed out one by one, very carefully and patiently. See, now the swollen base is very clearly seen. That is the ovary, right? So now further splitting is done to see the ovary and the ovules inside the pistil. Last part, that is stigma. Sorry, that is after style. So stigma. So this style part is actually split open. This is the style part which is split open. See how it is to be done. Now ovary will be removed out. This is how it is removed. The ovary is removed. Now further ovary is open to see the tiny ovules. This is how it is done. Can be kept over a slide and seen with the magnifying glass very clearly. Like this it looks, right? Let us conclude what we have studied from this video. These are the petals which are colorful. They are to attract the insects. The yellow anthers are there. They are containing the pollen grains. They are attached with the very thin reddish type part, that is ovules are here and ovaries here, right? Sepals are there which protect the bird in the bud stage. So our next topic is pollination. So pollination, you might be thinking that what is this pollination process? So the process of the transfer of the pollen grains from the anther to the stigma by various agents is called as pollination. Pollen grains, they are transferred within a plant sometimes, or sometimes they are transferred from one plant to another. This is done by certain agents. What are these agents? These agents are wind, water, bird and insects. They are called as the agents of the pollination. So after pollination, the seeds are formed and then the fruits are formed. This leads to the formation of the new generation of the plant. Do you know, students, how the seeds are formed? So the process of seed formation, it begins actually with the pollination. After pollination, there are a series of the processes which takes place, ultimately leading to the process of formation of the seed. So the other processes which are there in between, that we'll study in the next chapter. Right now we'll be learning the pollination, which is the first most step for the seed formation. Right? So the pollination process, in which the male reproductive part, that is the anther containing the pollen grain. So this pollen grain, they are transferred to the stigma. Right? This is done by certain agents. These agents, what they do is sometimes what happens that the pollen grains, they are transferred from the one flower to the second flower. From the pollen grains of one flower, they are transferred to the stigma of the another flower, but of the same plant. One plant is containing more flowers, right? So the pollen grain of the one flower is transferred to the pollen grain of the another flower of the same plant. Sometimes the pollen grain of the same flower is transferred to the stigma of the same flower also. Right? Sometimes the pollen grain of the same flower is transferred to the stigma of the another flower of another plant. Two plants are there. This pollen grain can be carried by different insects. It can be carried by wind also, by water also, by birds also. Especially whenever insect, they sit on the flower for collecting the nectar, the pollen grain being very sticky, it sticks on their body. So the same insects, when sit on the another flower of the same plant or of the another flower of the another plant, then the pollen grain, it sticks to the stigma. This is how pollination occurs. So if the pollen grains from the anther of the one flower fall on the stigma of the same flower or the another flower present in the same plant, then it is called as self-pollination. This occurs in the plant like pea plant. While if the pollen grains from the anther of one flower, they are transferred to the stigma of the another flower of a different plant, then it is called as cross-pollination. It occurs in most of the flowering plants. Right? So either though it is transferred to the same flower or the flower of the same plant, or either it is then it is called as self-pollination, or either it is transferred like case 2 is here, one flower of a plant to different flower of different plant. That is cross-pollination. In both the things, the pollen grains from the anther will be transferred to the stigma. Right? So this is exactly the pollination process. Now we end up our chapter. In the next chapter, we will be continue studying more about the plants.